Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Juliana Oviedo, for those of you who are unfamiliar, and I would like to thank you all for attending my scheduled talk. I wish to present two prevalent problems that may not seem connected, but I will aid in building the connection and propose a joint solution. I'm here to break down the necessity of Medicaid and why our hospital should consider raising our current quota of Medicaid patients in our diabetes department. I know everyone sitting here is familiar with what Medicaid is, but I would like to take a moment to go over it once more and emphasize certain key aspects about the purpose of its implementation. From the Medicaid website itself, Medicaid provides health coverage to millions of Americans, including eligible low-income adults, children, pregnant women, elderly adults, and people with disabilities. So in this picture, it specifies Virginia Medicaid, but aside from the specific numbers of incomes, the overall meaning is applicable to the whole country. That being said, Medicaid is especially important for people of low income status to receive medical treatment. As you can see here, whether it's a childless adult, a parent, or a person with a disability, as long as they have a low income, they are eligible for Medicaid. So without Medicaid, patients who are of low income status would be unable to afford care. I would like to take a deeper look into the lives of people with low income. Low income usually affects a lot of different aspects of one's life, but one of the main aspects it affects is diet. As shown by the picture, $1 can buy a variety of different foods from the food pyramid itself. Healthier foods such as vegetables or fruits have less calories within that $1 can buy, but unhealthier foods such as chips and sodas that have more calories are worth more for $1. This means that it is cheaper to eat unhealthy foods. People with low income don't have the luxury of choosing which foods they get to indulge in, and they have to opt for the cheaper option, unhealthy choices being the case the majority of the time. Because these foods that provide more energy and are more filling for their money's worth are unhealthy, they are usually high in sugar. So people of low income are consistently eating these unhealthy foods, which will result in blood sugar levels rising to abnormal amounts, which leads to a condition named hyperglycemia. This is a key aspect of diabetes. It can be predicted from this picture that people of low income are more likely to get diabetes because they are eating more sugary foods. There is actually research being done on this, and it shows that that hypothesis is correct. This first research done is from the American Diabetes Association, and they showed that poverty increases type 2 diabetes incidence and inequality of care despite universal health coverage. This isn't a causation, but this is more of a correlation. But this is a statistically significant correlation. I just want you to pay attention to the left side of the chart because that is the takeaway message of this figure. The the x-axis says hospitalization diagnosed type 2 diabetes, and the different color bars represent different incomes. So the black bar and the gray bar represent poor and low income, and the white and the striped bar represent middle and high income. So the poor and the low income bars have a higher hospitalization diagnosed type 2 diabetes than the middle and the high income. And this is statistically significant as shown by the asterisks above the bars. So this shows that people of poor or low income are more likely to be hospitalized due to their type 2 diabetes. The second research done on this is from the BMC Health Services Research, and they were showing the association of socioeconomic status with diabetes prevalence. So this was one of their figures, and as you can see, they represented diabetes prevalence by different income quintiles. The quintiles are represented from 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. And of the whiskers and box plot, you can see that the gray middle rectangle, there's a line in the middle of it which represents the mean of those with diabetes within that income quintile. So of the lower income quintiles, 1 to 2, that bar in the middle is higher than the bar in the middle for the income quintiles of 4 to 5. This shows that that belong in lower income quintiles have a higher proportion of diabetes within them. In the beginning, I mentioned a joint solution, and I plan on proposing it now. If we increase the amount of patients on Medicaid the diabetes department is allowed to treat, then more low-income people can be treated. This makes sense because if diabetes is centered around lower incomes, then diabetes can be prevented in a more head-on manner. To summarize, there is a strong correlation between diabetes and poverty. To combat diabetes aggressively, it makes sense to combat its correlational partner. It is an effective way to fight against the severity of diabetes. It is our duty as healthcare providers to not only treat, but to seek for ways to help those in need. Diabetes is prevalent all over the world, especially in America. It is only just to continue to search for ways to help treat patients with diabetes. Because there is a concentration of diabetes in lower income families, one possible solution is to find ways for more lower income families to be treated. Lower income families get treated through Medicaid, and as of this moment, our hospital's diabetes department has reached its maximum number of Medicaid patients. In order to care for more patients within the root cause vicinity, our threshold should be raised. I hope you all strongly consider this possibility. Thank you for your time.